Hey y'all, starting off with the support guides for Deadlock, we have Ivy. She is one of the best supports to solo queue into because you're able to pump out damage when it's needed, easily move between lanes, and chain your own crowd control together. She really feels like a jack of all trades, master of none, because you can build heavy into support, do a mixed weapon damage support build, or even mix together support with the pretty common kudzu bomb or one ability spam. Being able to pick and choose what build seems best in each game and having the flexibility knowing that all of these common cores are strong, you're able to really just fill in whatever your team is missing and still pump out pretty decent sized deals. So let's get more into it. Ivy's gun's pretty decent. It does very minimal damage at the beginning, but it has a very large mag and it shoots fast, so your DPS is still pretty good even at the start of the game. Our first ability is our kudzu bomb. This is an area of effect damage over time ability, so as long as people stay in it, they're going to continue to take damage. It's not all front loaded damage. It also slows enemies within the radius. Our second ability, Watcher's Covenant, gives us and our teammates both a fire rate increase as well as bullet lifesteal. It also translates 30% of the healing that we receive to whoever we're tethered to. So this is Ivy's main support ability in that it's actually both buffing our teammates as well as healing them at the same time. And our third ability is our stone form. This turns us into a gargoyle statue and we fly up into the air. While we're in the air and in this specific form, we don't take any damage, so it can be used to miss a lot of different things like Bebop's AoE damage or 7's stun. We could just completely ignore them. And also when we slam onto the ground, we are stunning our enemies and getting a relatively decent sized heal if you level it up quickly. A small portion of this heal is also shared between Watcher's Covenant. It's not the biggest thing, but it could help in some situations. And lastly, our 4 ability or our ultimate, we can pick up a teammate and carry them around the map. They just need to be within this little radius in front of us for us to do it. We could also self-cast it and not pick up anyone. The most important part of this is your right click while you're flying through the air. You can drop a bomb. This knocks up enemies, and when your ability is fully upgraded, I would recommend to level this first every single time. It also applies a 4.5 second silence to whoever it hits. After the silence and after the knockup, you could also just immediately stone form in midair to land and double up the crowd control. So at first they get knocked up and silenced, then you stun them, and then when they're out of the stun, they still have the silence for a couple more seconds. It's really strong and it has really great gank potential, which is why I've been having a lot of fun with Ivy. You push your lane in, you quickly roam over and do that and help out your other lane, and then you go back to your lane and everything is good and great and wonderful. All right, and here's the build. If you want to just look it up, just type in Delt Song and it should pop up. I've changed this a decent amount over the past few days, and this is what I think I'm finally settling on. Bullet magazine is great. It gives us more damage, and it also gives us 8 more bullets to spend. You don't have to pick up restorative shot every game, but for lanes that you're a little bit struggling with, you're taking some poke damage, this is great to get you back up. If you don't need restorative shot, I would just recommend getting monster rounds instead. It's right underneath in the situational items, and it really just helps. It'll help you CS better, it'll help you clear camps easier, and it'll even add up your damage against walkers and guardians. Healing right is very core. It heals yourself, it heals teammates. Just be careful not to get hit while it's being channeled or you'll lose all of it. So just play a little safe for a second, heal on up, and then get back in there. This is something else that's also split between Watcher's Covenant. If you healing right yourself and Watcher's Covenant your teammate, they're only going to get 30% of the healing, but at least they're still going to get some. Mystic Reach makes your kudzu bomb bigger, and it also makes your bomb AoE and your ultimate even bigger, and so that's just a pretty good pickup. Later on into the lane, it's not super as important right at the beginning, but it can be useful in specific situations where you're not really able to use your gun as much and you're mostly just trying to poke people out. Ammo Scavenge is great. Whenever you secure a soul or deny an enemy soul, you're able to get 2 bullets back, and this just helps you from having to constantly reload with your fast magazine size. And if you're just able to like kill a minion, you could just very quickly get the soul, kill another minion, get the soul, kill another minion, get the soul. And even if you melee the minions, you're still getting this ammo, which can just be very useful in general. Then we have extra stamina. This one's pretty self-explanatory. We already have a ton of different dashes. Why not get some more and be able to recharge them faster? A lot of these early game situational items could also be good, and I'm leaving them in here just in case you want to try them out. A lot of the times I pretty much only take monster rounds, and I'll occasionally take extra charge, but for the most part, once I get these cores that you're seeing right here, either monster rounds or restorative shot, depending on the game. I'll then move down into the mid-game core. And with your mid-game core, getting an early rescue beam or an early heroic aura to keep your teammates alive or to increase your teammates' damage is just amazing to have. It's basically just giving your whole team another item. If you're unable to afford these because they're both 3,000 cost, just grabbing Health Nova and Sprint Boots to be able to get across the map more and continue to heal your teammates is great as well. Rescue Beam is really strong. Not only is it a single target heal, but it's also a reposition. So if one of your teammates gets pulled in, or if one of your teammates is just very far pushed up and your team can't really get there to help them, you can just pull them out. Just say, nope, you're coming back here, and we're going to rethink about how we're doing this. Heroic Core is basically just a fire rate stim for your whole team. It's going to give a giant area radius around you and yourself 25% increased fire rate and 2 move speed. The 2 move speed's kind of nice, but it's not really anything game changing. What really helps is just the fire rate for pushing down those earlier guardians, those early walkers, and just being able to win team fights a little bit more effectively. And it lasts a pretty decent amount of time too. I'm going to use it right here, and you'll see like 3 little blue lines following me. When those end is when this also ends, which turns into about 8 seconds of increased fire rate for your whole team. Health Nova is an AoE heal around you, and it heals more depending on how many allies you hit. So if you're needing to get one big heal off on somebody and there's multiple people stacked, it's great. If everyone around you needs a heal, it's even better. Our next item is Healing Booster, just to keep getting those heals even stronger. The problem with this item is that we're going to need a flex slot, so at this point you should hopefully have all of the guardians down. If not, then you're gonna have to skip it for now. But if you're able to get Heroic Aura and then push around and ult over to lanes that don't have people at them, you should just be able to get the guardians down or win team fights at them. That's at least the hope anyway. Enduring Speed helps us move around the map faster and be where we need to be to support our team. Duration Extender means that our Watcher's Covenant lasts longer, so we're able to heal more and get more bullet lifesteal. It also means that we're able to fly around longer to get where we need to go. Titanic Magazine is a damage increase, but it's also a healing increase, because the more damage you're dealing when you have Watcher's Covenant active, the more bullet lifesteal is being applied, and you're just healing your team for even more. The situational items in this mid-game tier are basically all defensives or healing reductions or more bullet lifesteal. All these things are either going to help you live longer, help your teammates kill people who are healing a lot, or just bullet lifesteal if you want more healing in general. All right, and then late game core is a little hard to just set in stone. This is what I would do if you're not really knowing what you're going for exactly in the games yet, and you don't know how to build against other enemies. You could build this every single game and be all right enough. Inhibitor, in my opinion, is the only thing here that you should pick up every single game. Alchemical Fire is a close second. Leech gives you some more bullet lifesteal, Spirit lifesteal, Lucky Shot gives you more damage, and Boundless Spirit is just a ton of different stats that just help in general. As you can see from what I was just showing up right there, Alchemical Fire increases the weapon damage that everyone takes as long as they're within that AoE. And that is a huge game changer because it's a 50% bullet damage increase. So yeah, Inhibitor and Alchemical Fire are for sure you should take every single game. The rest is sort of just build as you feel like you need. I do have Ricochet on here and I almost never take it, but it is really good if your teammates aren't the best at like macro and your lanes are constantly getting pushed in. You could just take Ricochet and very quickly clear lanes. But in all reality, at most points when you start to build these items, the game should pretty much be decided anyway. 20-30 minutes, the game should be over. That's not always the case, but usually it is. Also, you can add Alchemical Fire into your engage, and the enemy team will just be deleted. So just showing that again, we're going to Kudzu, Alchemical Fire, drop our bomb, and land on them in Gargoyle. This is a very long stun. They're taking damage from Alchemical, they're taking damage from Kudzu, and they're increasing the damage that they take from everyone else's guns who are also shooting at them. All right, that's pretty much it. I didn't go over all the situational items, but as you play the game more, they should seem to make more sense. So yeah, let's get into a game. All right, so in this game specifically, we're solo laning against an Infernus, and I think this is still relatively low elo. I've been slowly climbing. I think I'm up to like platinum-ish now, maybe even close to Mystic, but this was maybe a couple days ago. I've been playing other characters to test them out and see how they go with supporting too. And yeah, we're just gonna try to win this lane against Infernus and then spread our lead to the other lanes to get the other guardians down, because those are very important. It's very important to prioritize farm. If this guy pushes me and he tries to deal a ton of damage, it's not a huge deal. We're just gonna make sure that we're continuing to farm, continuing to get the souls, and if we have an opportunity to go in and kill him, we'll take it. But for the most part, we're just trying to scale. For example, that guy made a huge mistake going to melee a minion when I was standing right there, so we punished him big for it. And now we're just going to continue to pressure the lane since he can't really do too much, and make sure that we're continuing to farm along the way. I had a kill here and I screwed it up because I completely missed my punch, but oh well. Whenever we get our stone form, we're going to immediately just put 2 points into it, so that way we start to scale that up some. And then when we get our ultimate, all of our points are going to be going into that, and we'll finish our stone form after. At this point, I have been a little bit too aggressive in lane. I thought that I was going to kill him a few times, and so I kept trying to apply that pressure, but it hasn't really worked out. So I need to focus on farming, and then if we can get a kill, cool. If not, I need to get that CS. I did pick up healing right first for some pretty obvious reasons. It's just going to keep me in the lane and keep me in a place where I can pressure him if I need to without dying.
This story isn't over yet.
And you'll probably notice that there is some differences in the build. Like I said, this was a little while ago and I've been refining it since then. So that's why I am going to pick up basic mag here, which is a core staple in the build that I have posted now. And it's just going to give us some more weapon damage and some more ammo.
On me.
I try to go in for a stone form melee finish here, and again I messed up the stone form, so we don't get the kill, but it's fine. We still win this trade thanks to the stone form healing us. I took a ton of damage from the Guardian there that I shouldn't have. It's fine. We're just going to press 2 and make sure that we're healing up with our bullet lifesteal. For some reason here, I don't know why, I thought Infernus backed. I thought he full left, and so I ran in and went to melee a minion under his Guardian, took a ton of Guardian damage, and he tries to push us. We take the fight and we end up winning. And this is a really, really good lead for us to have now. Our CS lead is 2300 to 1800, but before we go back, I see that nobody's coming toward us. So I'm just going to continue to CS and make this lead even bigger while he's stuck, not able to do anything. And then I'll back up and buy when he gets back.
What can I say? I'm a work of art.
And I just saw him coming back, so we're gonna back up, we're gonna buy our items, we're gonna healing right to get back to full health, and now we have a almost 3-item lead on him, which just means that we should just be winning the lane from here on out.
I don't know what that does, but my kid says all the mystics are buying it.
Who's ready for a ride?
And I do pick up extra charge in this game. This is because I just want to keep the lane pushed all the way into him. I don't want him to have a chance to come back out. And so I'm just using my extra charge on my kudzu bomb to continuously push the lane up from here on out.
I'm not going down without a fight. I'm doing what I can. I'm not finished yet. Tirando espinas. Let me help.
And he's really just trying to do everything he can to push me out of lane, but he's never going to be able to do that. He uses his ultimate here, and since we have so many dashes as base Ivy, we can just very easily get out.
I'll do my part.
And I do a really, really bad push here. I thought that I'd stone for him. If I did, this was a kill. But since I didn't have it, then this wasn't... Don't do this.
Throwing kudzu. You can't hurt me.
And here I'm backing up to finally buy Mystic Reach and Ammo Scavenger. Usually, in the games that I've been playing, I would just pick up Health Nova here instead. This just gives me more sustain than the healing right does, and I can use it mid-fight as well.
I'll slow him down.
And with the Guardian being this low, I just want to get it down at this point, but I still need to do it safely because I don't want to feed Infernus. If I die to him, everything that I did early game is just negated.
I got you.
And I did pick up Reactive Barrier here. That was just to be safe in case I did get caught in his ultimate. I know he just used it, but he'll get it back again at some point. And getting some shields when I get stunned by that could definitely save me.
Kudzu bomb. kick out of this.
All right, this Guardian's down. Somebody else just came over here. What I'm going to do is start to rotate and try to get the other Guardians down now as well. I see Viscous is alone in the blue lane, so I'm just going to rotate over with my ultimate and help him out. If I went all in there, I would have been in a 2v1 and praying that Viscous saved me. I don't want to rely on my teammates. I want my teammates to rely on me. So that's why I just stopped the ultimate a little short there and didn't fly all the way in and didn't drop on them, because I would have just put myself into a really bad position. So yeah, for the most part here, I'm just trying to support Viscous, deal some damage where I can, keep him alive, and just continue to fight alongside him. I know I'm not the carry. I've built so much defensive items that I really am not doing the most damage, and that's just going to continue throughout the game at this point. Viscous actually pulls off a really nice cube here to completely nullify Lash's ult because he's already out of it, and it just sort of saved me, so props to him. This guy was actually really good. And now I finally got Health Nova, and I also picked up a bit more extra stamina. Since now I'm in lane against Lash, it just helps out to keep away from him a bit better.
They're in control.
Alright, so now with team rotations, we're able to take down this Guardian, and we still don't have a flex slot. We still need to get the green Guardian down to be able to get that. And so that is my next priority. I like this Viscous, so I'm taking him with me to kill Grey Talon and get that Guardian down.
Story isn't over yet. You're not completing the ritual.
Purple guardian's been
Now's our chance.
And now we got that Guardian. I'm actually just going to rotate over one more lane again and support our Haze, since she is in a 1v1 right now, and we can make that a 2v1 and maybe secure a kill.
Necesitas mucho más que eso para matarme. ¿Creen que están ganando?
So like I said before, we're just continuing the idea of taking down all of the Guardians. When we do that, we unlock a flex slot, and we're getting a ton of souls for our team, which just puts us ahead even further. But after this wall goes down, I realized that our team's fighting in between lanes for some reason, so I decided to go try to help them out. And I get some pretty decent heals onto our Haze, which means that we get a few kills.
Conseguiré.
the spirit urn is waiting to be collected.
And then back to the Guardian we go.
Well done.
And now that we got all the guardians down, my entire game plan is to slowly whittle down all of the walkers, just like we did with the guardians. We're just going to rotate from lane to lane until we get all of them. Make sure that if there's an enemy around like there was in this game, you are shooting the orbs that come off the walkers. Very important because they can be denied and it denies for your entire team. But as you can see, we killed the walker. Warden looks like he's getting out alive, so I'm just going to continue to move over to a different lane now because I'm done here. I don't want to be here anymore. Sure, there's some guardians, but we got the walker and that's my main goal. Before we push any further though, I'm going to back up and buy and continue to make sure that we're actually using our lead rather than just sitting on it. And then we're going to continue to push up and help out wherever our team is needed. And in this game, I bought Rescue Beam. Rescue Beam is perfect. We're going to want it every single game we're playing as a support. And I also bought Divine Barrier, which can give one of our teammates a bullet shield, a spirit shield, and a move speed increase. I'm planning to use this on our Warden or Viscous as they go in, or if our Haze runs in with an ult, I want to use it on her. And we get a huge 3-person silence and stun here, which just means our team should be able to walk in and clean it up. And now that we have the numbers advantage, once again, we are pushing the walkers. I started to run toward purple, realized that walker was down already, so we just need to push over to the green one and start taking that. I was trying to rescue beam Vindicta here, but I'm bad, so I didn't. But it's okay, because we'll just kill Mirage instead. All right, and now that we got all the walkers, our next job is to try to pressure the shrines. We have 2 teammates here with us, Warden and Viscous, and I'm feeling like they're relatively strong at this point. Our Yamato is defending our blue lane, so I feel completely fine doing this. She should be fine. We should be fine. We're just going to keep pushing. Sadly, our teammates didn't really push up with us, and that's okay. We'll just back up and make sure that we're staying around them, because once again, we're playing as a support. We're not a carry. I'm not going to try to fight this guy alone. I do see Haze fighting Infernus across the map, so we're just going to fly on over and see if we can help that out. And now Warden looks like he's in trouble, so once again, we're just going to rotate over and see if we can help him. Once again, rotating to shut down the enemy team and help our own team. This time I'm bringing Hayes with us. She's doing a ton of damage, so she can come along and make sure that we kill McGinnis here. Instead, we just got Mirage. McGinnis backs up and starts ulting, and I don't want to tank it anymore, so we're just going to run over to where our team is, over at green and yellow, and continue the push there. And now that everyone's taken a decent amount of damage, as we push back in here and everyone starts to group up on the shrine, I'm just going to pop Health Nova and make sure that everyone just stays alive. Sorry, Vindicta. And I have so much money on me, but I'm thinking that the game's just going to end here, so I don't even care about backing at this point. I'm seeing Viscous is getting pretty low, and I see Health Nova is also coming back off cooldown, so I'm trying to get up to him so I can just immediately heal him as soon as I can. The Lash ult makes this very sketchy, but at least Health Nova is still healing through it a tiny bit. Once again, rescue beaming Viscous to keep him healing while also healing myself. And at this point, Warden has basically killed the patron, so I'm just going to run on in and help finish that off now. GG, that is support Ivy, and I feel like that game really showcases just how you could be all over the map with your ultimate and just continue to try to help snowball your team into a victory. Hope it helps, and I hope to see y'all next time. Peace.